What if the most important moment in human history was broadcast live to the world, only to be erased in real time? On October 30th, 2025, that's exactly what millions of people believe they saw. An interstellar visitor named 3I Atlas approached our sun, strange signals were detected, and then, the live feeds were cut. NASA blamed a technical glitch, but the evidence that followed points not to an error, but to a cover-up of unprecedented scale. So, what did they see that day that they didn't want us to? Let's delve into it.
The interstellar visitor.
What makes a space rock from another star system so special that it brings the world to a halt? Before October 2025, almost no one had heard of 3I Atlas, but to astronomers, it was an object of unprecedented importance. Discovered months earlier by a team led by Dr. Amy Mainzer, a leading expert in celestial object detection, its trajectory was immediately flagged as extraordinary. The math was clear: this object wasn't from our cosmic neighborhood. It had traveled from the direction of the constellation Lynx, journeying through the interstellar void for thousands, perhaps millions, of years. It was only the third interstellar object ever detected, and it behaved differently from the start. Unlike the Comet 2I Borisov, found in 2019, which acted like a predictable dirty snowball, 3I Atlas was eerily clean. As it neared the sun, it refused to develop the fuzzy coma and tail that comes from the sublimation of melting ice. It remained a sharp, well-defined point of light, almost as if it were made of solid rock or metal, not the fragile conglomerates we were used to. This lack of outgassing was a direct violation of what we expected to see from an object on such a sun-grazing path. Its velocity was also far in excess of the sun's escape velocity, confirming it was just a temporary guest. This was our first clue that this visitor was going to break all the rules of cometary physics.
Global observation.
How do you get the entire planet to look up at the same tiny dot in the sky? You announce that a visitor from another star is about to make its closest approach to our sun, and you do it during prime viewing hours. The scientific community went into overdrive. NASA and the European Space Agency pointed their most powerful instruments at 3I Atlas. Private observatories in Hawaii and Japan cleared their schedules entirely to focus on it. A team coordinated by Dr. Frank Marcus of the SETI Institute helped organize a global campaign, creating a 24/7 network of eyes on the object. But the real phenomenon was public. For the first time, an interstellar object became a global media event. Amateur astronomers joined in, and channels like Voyager on YouTube set up live streams, attracting millions of viewers. The open sharing of telemetry and imaging data was celebrated as a new era of transparency in space science. This unprecedented level of real-time public access made the subsequent lockdown all the more shocking. It was a beautiful moment of shared human curiosity, a global watch party for a cosmic mystery, right before everything went wrong.
The freeze.
Have you ever been watching something historic unfold, only for the screen to go black, at exactly 11 hours, 47 minutes and 12 seconds coordinated universal time? That's what happened to millions. On the popular Voyager stream, the crisp image of 3I Atlas suddenly froze. Data overlays displaying coordinates and timestamps were stuck. The online chat exploded with confusion, but here's where it gets truly strange. The blackout wasn't universal. Some viewers on the very same stream reported their feed continued without a problem. Renowned science communicator Dr. Phil Plait began compiling reports on social media, highlighting the bizarrely random pattern of outages affecting some viewers but not others. The inconsistency defied simple technical explanations like a server crash, which would affect everyone downstream. After about 30 seconds, the affected feed switched to generic error messages, creating even more chaos. To make matters more confusing, NASA's official archived replay of the event shows continuous, uninterrupted coverage, a sanitized version of history, as if the freeze never happened at all. This led to the creation of conflicting digital archives, a clear sign that the raw historical record had been altered.
Radio signals.
What if the most important event in human history wasn't seen but heard? While viewers were arguing about frozen live streams, radio astronomers were detecting something that would change everything. Just seconds after the visual blackouts began, radio telescopes in Canada and Europe picked up a structured transmission coming from the exact location of 3I/Atlas. Legendary SETI researcher Dr. Jill Tarter, upon reviewing the data, confirmed it was unlike anything she had ever seen. The signal was narrow band, a key indicator of an artificial source, since natural cosmic phenomena emit noise across a broad range of frequencies. It had a clear repeating pattern with a mathematical precision that suggested intelligence behind it. This was not random static, it was a complex layered transmission containing what appeared to be coded information. Within hours, amateur radio hobbyists began posting their own recordings. Despite using less sensitive equipment, operators across North America and Europe had captured fragments of the same transmission, their timestamps all aligning. The message from deep space was real, and it had been heard by multiple independent witnesses.
NASA's panic.
How does the world's leading space agency react when faced with potential evidence of alien intelligence, with a move that, honestly, baffled the entire scientific community? Within hours of the radio detection, NASA posted a brief statement on its website. It dismissed the radio signal as unconfirmed interference and blamed the video interruptions on technical transmission errors. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, the statement was deleted. Dr. Thomas Zurbuchen, a former head of NASA science with deep knowledge of its protocols, would later remark that this kind of rapid posting and deletion is unheard of. NASA's public statements usually go through days of meticulous vetting involving multiple departments. To issue and then retract a statement so quickly suggested a serious internal conflict, or, more alarmingly, a direct order from a much higher authority to shut the story down immediately. It was the first clear sign of an official cover-up, a panicked reaction that created a chilling effect among internal staff who knew the truth was being suppressed. It was an unprecedented break from the agency's long-standing commitment to public transparency.
Data lockdown.
What do you do after you've deleted the evidence? You lock the doors. Immediately following the deleted statement, NASA triggered a protocol known as an internal data protection notice. This is not a routine procedure. As astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb has often argued, science thrives on open data, and this action was the antithesis of that principle. According to NASA's own administrative manuals, it's reserved for extreme scenarios like the discovery of potential extraterrestrial life or national security threat. The effect was instantaneous and absolute. Publicly accessible telescope feeds switched to offline for maintenance messages. University researchers who had been studying the object for weeks suddenly found their access credentials revoked. This lockdown prevented the crucial process of peer review, effectively stopping science in its tracks. The lockdown was comprehensive, affecting not just the raw data for 3I/Atlas, but entire sections of NASA's public archives that contained any cross-referenced material. NASA had effectively sealed the data vault, cutting off the global scientific community from the most important discovery in history.
Anomalous readings.
Luckily for us, NASA doesn't own every telescope on the planet. While NASA's data vanished, independent observatories kept watching, and what they found only made the official story less believable. In Chile, a team of astronomers was measuring the object's reflectivity, or albedo. The readings, later analyzed by theoretical physicist Dr. Michio Kaku, were, well, stunning. Most asteroids are dark, reflecting only 3 to 15% of sunlight. 3I/Atlas, however, was reflecting over 90%, a value consistent with polished metal or an artificial surface. Meanwhile, researchers at Japan's Subaru Observatory were tracking the object's trajectory with pinpoint precision. They discovered subtle but persistent deviations from its predicted path, a slight acceleration that could not be explained by gravity. It was nudging itself off course with no visible signs of outgassing to explain the push. The movement appeared controlled and deliberate. And to top it off, infrared measurements showed the object was far cooler than it should have been, indicating a surface with extremely low thermal emissivity, expertly designed to shed heat rather than absorb it.
Information blackout.
How do you erase a discovery from the scientific record? You coordinate. As news of the anomalous readings spread through academic backchannels, a much wider information blackout began. Anne Droyan, a powerful voice for scientific transparency, called it a betrayal of the public trust. The European Space Agency quietly moved all of its 3I Atlas observations behind a firewall, citing a data review process that could take years. University observatories that normally share findings openly suddenly went silent, with reports of pressure being applied to their funding organizations. Conference presentations on the object were being cancelled without explanation. This created a chilling effect where scientists began to self-censor, fearing professional reprisal if they spoke out about what they had seen. Even Freedom of Information Act requests filed with government agencies were met with indefinite delays. The lockdown was systematic and global, an effort to control the narrative by making anyone who pursued the story seem like a fringe conspiracy theorist rather than a serious researcher.
The Echo.
Just when the story seemed to have been successfully buried, the Visitor sent a postcard. Several weeks after the initial event, as public attention had moved on, a faint echo of the mystery reappeared. Radio receivers in the United States and Europe detected an incredibly weak signal. It was so faint that automated systems, programmed to filter out background noise, missed it completely. But experienced overnight operators, trained by experts like SETI's Dr. Seth Shostak, noticed it. The pattern was unmistakable. It was the same structured intelligent transmission from October 30th. The signal's Doppler shift perfectly matched the calculated outbound velocity and trajectory of 3I Atlas, confirming its origin. It appeared to be coming from a region of space just beyond Mars's orbit, exactly along the projected path. This second detection was crucial. It turned a single, dismissible anomaly into a confirmed, repeating pattern. It was as if the object, now heading back into the interstellar deep, had sent one last faint broadcast to let us know it was real.
Coordinated silence.
What happens when you present definitive evidence of a cover-up? Nothing. The official response to the echo signal was a deafening, coordinated silence. When researchers requested the original receiver logs from the follow-up detection, they were told the data was classified as part of an ongoing national security review. NASA's public databases showed only routine calibration entries for those dates. Dr. Gary Nolan, a scientist known for his rigorous approach to controversial phenomena, noted that such institutional silence is often more telling than a denial. Journalists who contacted media relations offices received form responses about unrelated missions. The pattern was now frustratingly clear. Every new piece of evidence that surfaced was quickly and systematically buried behind administrative barriers. This silence damaged the public's trust in the very institutions designed to expand our knowledge. It confirmed that for reasons we can only speculate on, the authorities had decided that humanity was not ready to know the truth about our interstellar visitor. The story of 3I Atlas is a chilling modern mystery. On October 30th, 2025, did we witness a series of unfortunate technical glitches and miscommunications, or did we see the curtain pulled back for a moment, revealing a truth so profound that global powers decided to hide it from us? Was it just a uniquely reflective rock that happened to emit a signal mistaken for a message, or was it humanity's first, and officially denied, contact with an intelligence beyond our own? The data is still locked away, but the questions remain. What do you think really happened? Tell me your theory in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the universe's greatest mysteries. And be sure to check out the video on your screen for our next investigation. Thanks for watching Space Facts.